Hey, man. Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh God. So,
There you are.
really unfortunate, man. Sorry. So, welcome to the video, Arm Wrestling fans. I'm Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News, and you are watching today's live stream. And the guest will be Mr. Ryan Blue Bowen. So, hey, looks like our guest
Going
has
on,
already
man?
joined. For
How are
some
you, brother?
reason, I cannot hear you yet, Ryan. Wait.
I can hear you.
Just wait. Maybe my
Good, man. I got
microphone is
you.
not been. I think I should be able to hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep, right now. So,
Good stuff,
welcome
man.
to the live stream, Ryan. Again, starting with technical difficulties. I was speaking something to my wife. I put my microphone on mute, and then I gave a great, one of the best introductions ever on my channel for about 40-45 seconds, and I was on mute.
That's the way it goes sometimes. I hate doing double takes. I absolutely hate them. But yeah,
Right.
sometimes you got to do them.
Yeah. It happens with me
What's
as
going
well.
on,
I'm
man?
like, I'll say something else. I will not repeat all of that again. Although it is still new
Yeah,
to our viewers, but I will not repeat. So, how are you doing, brother?
yeah, man. I'm doing real well. Enjoying everything that's going on. Arm wrestling's got some drama happening everywhere, so there's lots of interesting stuff happening, man. And yeah, I'm enjoying it.
So over 30 have already joined, guys. We will be discussing a couple of super matches in this live stream. Tim Bresnan versus Matt Mask and Ryan Espey versus Monster Michael Todd left-handed super match. And then we will discuss a little bit about, not a little bit, actually in detail about the Devon versus Levan Saginashvili strap issue. We know that it has already been beaten to death, but we are going to do it one more time. Why not? I love to do that. So, first of all, how is the channel going, Ryan?
Man, yeah, I'm channel's going well. I like to keep my finger on the pulse as to what is working, and I've just been studying some other YouTube channels and trying to up my production, just make things better. So I'm having a lot of fun at the moment. I'm enjoying what's going on with the channel at the moment, and like I said, thankfully the arm wrestling world's giving us plenty to talk about, lots of drama. So that's been good. But yeah, man, I am doing well.
I'm actually surprised, and 72 people are already live because you produce so much content. You don't really care about timing anymore. Like, as soon as your video, this is what I believe. So, as soon as your video is ready, you just publish it. I am someone who care about timing because my average is about one video every day or maybe 1.2 days. So, I actually care about some. When I publish videos, I make sure that the Northern American audience, which is the majority of audience for any YouTube channel, Arm Wrestling, is awake. I need to make sure that. So, but 72 already live, which is a really, really good thing. So, where do we want to start, Ryan, to discuss today's topic?
Oh man. Well, I guess I don't know. As everyone, as you mentioned, a lot of people are talking about the Devon Levan thing. That's just the heat. The heat of the moment there is big. All that strap stuff is fascinating. Who's lying, who's not lying? There's gray areas. It's been an amazing amount of drama. I'm truly fascinated by it in the sense that, I'm genuinely a little bit worried for Devon. I'm genuinely a little bit worried that he's a bit frustrated, and as a result of it, he's not going to be in the best mindset. But I mean, when I say that with a grain of salt. Devon's going to come to the game as hard and as prepared as he possibly can be. I don't think that he's going to be really shaken by it, but I don't think he's necessarily winning the mental situation right now. We've only seen a little bit from Levan, and I think Levan will probably stay mostly quiet and just let his physicality do the talking when it comes to the day. But I think the more simple Levan keeps it, the better it's going to be from him. Devon's going to try to bring as much talk into it prior, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think Devon is in a position right now where he's really ahead in the mental games. I think they're pretty evenly balanced.
My first impression was that when Devon deleted that video, then he uploaded another video, and he looked like he was genuinely frustrated. My first impression was like Devon shouldn't have done this in the first place. He should have kept calm in this situation, and he still would have got what he wanted about the contracts and the rules. And I think, Ryan, this should be enough for a good intro. I know I asked you to decide the topic, but I would want to keep this topic towards the end because you know SG Records, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Roman messaged me. He wanted to join this conversation about Levan. He may be pissed off about you when you if you are supporting Devon Lad because he's a Georgian, we know. So he may have some insights to say to contribute to
Yeah.
these topics, or we are
Do
going
it.
to keep it till the end. So let's jump back
Okay.
to the previous topic once again. Your YouTube channel and your Facebook. So is your Facebook monetization back yet? And what happened? Can you quickly explain
No,
us
no.
to
The Facebook monetization's gone. The pound for pound arm wrestling page, I've unpublished it because it's disappointing losing it. But I've reached out to Facebook, I've put in appeals, and they just are non-existent in terms of their responses. So you can't even justify like this. The issue was that there was a copyright piece of music used according to them. I purchased and paid for it. I had a license for it, but there's nowhere to submit that. And then when they close your page down or demonetize you, there's nowhere in the appeal that you can submit, hey, look, I have a license, damn it. So I've lost that monetization. So I started a new page, starting from scratch again. So that new page is not yet monetized. It'll take me 3 or 4 months to get that monetized. But that's all good. It's all good. we'll crack on.
And not only yourself, you have got the half of the arm wrestling YouTube community onto Facebook as well. You have single-handedly convinced everyone to jump onto Facebook.
Oh no, I think there was a lot of us over there as well. I'm not a fan of Facebook. I can't stand it. Like there's been a lot of times where I've thought, oh man, I can't wait to get off Facebook. But I'm looking forward to the next social media platform someday, hopefully coming along, and Facebook dying. So it's no longer relevant. But I unfortunately think that's going to be a while away yet. So yeah, it's a necessary evil if you want to be in this business of commentating on the sport and being someone who keeps up the trends. You just can't not be on Facebook. So yeah.
Yeah, that is a big, sad kind of news that you lost like at least $4,000 a month in revenue.
Yeah, but the
That is
revenue
a
was
lot
at
of
four and a
money,
half.
at least
It
for
was
me.
4,500 US a month was what that page was generating. And that was what was funding the expansion of the business, the travel for athletes, the prize money for athletes, the payment of referees and camera crew and all that sort of stuff that was happening for Arm Fights Unleashed. And for that to just gone, you're like, it's a big hit for the business. It means I have to rebuild, start again, which I'll do. The one thing that I'm certain of is that I'm never going to stop. Like I enjoy this stuff so much. So if I have to rebuild that revenue stream, so be it. I'll get there and I'll rebuild it better, and I won't make the same mistakes as last time. I won't. I now know that Facebook will just demonetize you out of the blue with no warning for simply using music. So you won't see music in any of my videos, even music that I've purchased. Now I'm not going to do it on Facebook because I'm just going to be me talking or a match or something. It's not going to. There's going to be nothing that they can possibly take down on a copyright level.
Right. And Ryan, you motivate everyone. And I remember when you set a goal for yourself, 4 videos every day, 1 million views a month. At that same time, I promised you that I'm only publishing 10, 15 videos every month, and I'm going to publish 1 video every day from now on. And since then, I've not published less than 25 videos every month, maybe 25 to 35. So I've stuck to that promise till now.
Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah, and your channel's grown proportionally as a result of it. It's pretty awesome to see, and I know that you share your analytics with me every now and then. It's amazing. So I love your work ethic and your consistency. So well done, man. Good stuff.
Right. So let's jump into the chat for a bit.
Yeah.
The Drew 24. What does come to your mind when you hear this name, the Drew 24? Do you remember that name?
Yeah, I know the Drew. He's always putting
Algorithmic boosting comment.
algorithm boosting comment. I think he needs to change his YouTube username to algorithm boosting comment. Yeah.
So he's saying that Ryan, happy to see you, man, and another comment, and happy to see Pradeep inside.
Awesome.
So let's
Good to
start with the
see you
first
guys
match.
too. Yeah,
Ryan Espey versus Monster Michael Todd. What are your thoughts about the match?
It's a left-hand match, yeah?
Left-handed match on arm bets, and only a few hours remaining if I'm correct. Maybe 8 hours remaining till the match is on. and heavily underpromoted. Heavily underpromoted. Only two big super matches, total 4 matches. The other one is Matt Mask versus Tim Bresnan, $10 pay-per-view. What are your thoughts about the pay-per-view?
Well, look, it's a season where pay-per-views are on now on YouTube channels, and so I don't really. I guess I've shared my thoughts about that before. That I think it's a good opportunity for athletes to do what they do, and look, I'm glad that I'm really appreciative and grateful for the arm wrestling fan base to be supporting it. So, I wish them well. It's a refinement process. Everyone's trying to lift their production value, so the money's being spent. You can see that the production value is going up across the board in YouTube channels. Everyone's working hard on lifting up their game, whether it's live stream quality like this, whether it's tournament live stream quality, like everyone's doing well. So I think the sport's growing and we're all helping. So I wish them well on the pay-per-view. It's no dramas. I'll pay for it for sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to commentate it yet, but I'll definitely pay for it and watch it because I want to watch it so I can talk about it, even if it's in the aftermath. But yeah, the pay-per-view matches themselves. The Michael Todd and Ryan Espey one on left is an interesting one because, I mean, Ryan is traditionally a badass on left. Michael's traditionally not so much a badass, but always kind of on the fringe of being a badass on left, relative to his right anyway. So I think people expect Espey to win it. Espey's, of course, gone recently and just said he wants Devon as well. So it's like he's already projecting forward that he's going to have no dramas beating Michael Todd. So I think that Espey has got a fair bit of confidence about himself in this, but the pressure will be on him as well because I know Michael's fearless on that left. He just comes at you with a press real hard and fast, and I know he believes that there's a lane where he can pin Ryan Espey. So if Michael gets his shoulder in fast with that press, then it's a possibility that Michael gets the upset. But over the course of a super match, I know that just from experience myself, when you come up against a really committed press puller, you can lose the first round and because you anticipated the incorrect direction that they were going to come at you. And if you guess the wrong direction and you put your defense or your counterattack in the wrong spot, then bang, they can get through you. But I often find as well if you have just lost a round to a press puller, once you've felt their lane, you can go, oh, okay, that's their lane, all right, and then you can put an appropriate counterattack to it. So I expect Michael to have the possibility of winning the early round, but I think Espey should come through for the win.
Jack Sack is saying any more clickbait videos, Pradeep? No, I think that's about it for today. Maybe one more. I'm going to upload one more video after that. So people are saying that $10 is expensive.
There's always more coming. There's always more coming in the clickbait thing, and even refinement of clickbait. Like the term clickbait is an interesting one because it's a necessary thing to succeed on YouTube, but it's necessary in the sense of not saying to fool people into watching. No, a good clickbait is a title and a thumbnail that's super intriguing that is then backed up by a great video that matches them. And that's what we're seeking. We're not trying to trick people into watching once, because if you do that, you'll burn your bridges with your fans and they're gone. So we're not in the business of clickbait. We're in the business of getting attention from people that have never seen your channel before, and then surprising them with value and awesome content once they actually watch. So yeah, but I like that.
Yeah, I think people don't really know. Not many people know what clickbait really is. Like the best method to grow on YouTube is like, if this is just a normal video and this is clickbait, you should be borderline touching this clickbait area. And I'm somewhere here in the middle. I'm nowhere near you. Have not seen what clickbaits really mean on YouTube. This is nowhere near you clickbait. So I think Ryan Espey, and I was saying people are commenting that $10 is way too expensive for this, and I kind of agree with that. And generally we have seen that those Armwrestling TV pay-per-views are expensive. So I doubted Michael Todd before as well against Robbie Toppy, and he defeated Robbie very convincingly. It was 3-1, but it should have been 3-0 if the reffing was correct. And this time again, I'm going to doubt Michael once again, because we have seen in the past
you're good buddies with Michael.
Has some troubles. Yeah, right now Michael has been saying nothing but positive things about me in his last 2-3 live streams. So I'm really, really thankful for that. So we have seen that Michael has trouble against taller guys. Devon led 6'5", Schoolboy 6'5". They were easily kind of manhandling Michael Todd left-handed. And I thought the same is going to happen with Robbie Toppy as well. But Robbie Toppy is what, 6'1"? Now again coming back to Ryan Espey, he's not Schoolboy or Devon led, but he's also 6'3" and a half, 6'4" maybe. So he is also a tall guy and a top roller, which is kind of difficult for Michael Todd to deal with. So again, I think, and Ryan Espey has way too much of mass to be moved by Michael Todd's press. I think somewhere, even if Michael Todd is able to get him in his press, somewhere Ryan is going to stop him and bring him back. So I think this is going to be a 3-0 for Ryan Espey. What is your prediction? What is your score?
No, I think Michael. I'm gonna say Michael gets around. It gets around early. Either round 1 or 2, Michael will find that lane and he'll surprise Ryan. With a press. So I think that Michael get 1, maybe 2 rounds, but it'll be still Ryan Espey that wins. So probably I think a 4-2 victory to Ryan Espey.
Right. So let's jump into the chat quickly.
Yeah.
75. So I saw one comment about the Ashwin Shetty was saying, without getting too much into the Levan discussion yet, the hype around this match is never seen before in arm wrestling. So do you really think this match is more hyped or more talked about than the Dennis versus Devon match 2018? Because so far I have not seen anything in terms of publicity that is exceeding the Devon versus, and I'm also considering the number of fans there were in 2018 compared to now. If we count the number of fans that arm wrestling had, I think that match was more hyped up than this match.
Well, there might have been. I mean, the PAL does good marketing in general. They put more effort into professional standard of marketing. I think that King of the Table will ramp up on it as well. But Devon is a self-marketing machine, and Levan is somewhat becoming that as well. Levan is very. Even though Levan is far quieter on the social media space, he still is very, very influential when he does post something. I mean, everyone watches it. So I think that it will be it will easily be the biggest hyped match. I mean, the amount of fans that are arguing in forums, oh my goodness. I know we're all tired of it, but it's crazy watching the hyper Devon fans and the hyper freaking anti-Devon fans at each other. It's just does your head in. The level of it's just like childish memes and childish insults and just extremely irrelevant comments made over and over and over and over and over and over again, mocking everything under the sun. But that does show that there's very passionate interest in it from a very large amount of fans, which is awesome. And I do think that it will be the most watched arm wrestling match in history. And probably I think that'll go on for a while. I don't know that there's no immediate match I think that can really exceed this. I don't think there's any other match out there, not for a while. I mean, these two gentlemen are the two most they're the two individuals that everyone just wants to see. No matter who these guys are facing, everyone's going to tune in. So the fact that they're facing each other, and the fact that there is so much passion in the fans about whether you're a believer in Devon or not a believer in Devon, or a believer that Levan's unbeatable or that he is vulnerable, everyone's got something to say. So the fans are there. The sports are going to benefit from it. Everyone's business that's linked to arm wrestling will benefit from this. So we're seeing growth. We see growth everywhere across the board. All the arm wrestling YouTube channels are growing. More people are on board. More athletes are being paid now than have been before. The paychecks for these guys are getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's gonna. I can see it.
I was kicked out of my live stream. Yeah. So for last about 5 minutes, I was only able to get your audio, and now the video is perfectly fine. The clear.
Okay.
It worked out. So.
But yeah, I think it will be the biggest. Let's get back to the
comments for a while. Comments are really
all good.
Okay. So the Drew24 was mentioning that if RVJ pulls out, Ryan should be facing Bojidar at King of the Table.
Yeah, that's what I would like. That's my personal request. I don't know if you watched the video that I put out, my most recent video. I just put out a video basically saying to RVJ, what's going on, man? So I'm hearing through the grapevine hesitancy from him. Obviously, like I said, he pulled out of King of the Table 3 for personal reasons, which I respected it, and I didn't ask what they were. I just respected it. Don from Core Sports, the CEO of Core Sports, he reiterated with me at the time of RVJ pulling out that the match will be scheduled for King of the Table 4, and he gave me the option at the time to either take a different opponent for King of the Table 3 or have Rob at King of the Table 4, and I elected for Rob King of the Table 4. But now, like I said, it's been a number of months since then, and I hear hesitancy on the part of Rob through the grapevine. So I thought, well, it's time we had this conversation. So I put that video out there, basically asking Rob to let me know what's going on. If he's in, awesome. If he's not, let me know, because I'm not gonna play the game of waiting for Rob to decide he wants to arm wrestle. Because if he doesn't want to arm wrestle, I would love to pull Bojidar Simonov. I want to compete at the 86 kilos Lodita. Bojidar's weighing about 86, 87 kilos right now. I'm 91 and a half, so we'll be at a similar weight by the time that match could come around. We were meant to pull in Australia, but Bojidar's visa got denied twice, and hence we lost that opportunity. So Dubai might be that midway point that makes it appropriate. And yeah, man, I would absolutely love to pull Bojidar. To me, Bojidar is a more legitimate opponent than RVJ, in my opinion, for what my goals are. There's a beef between myself and RVJ, and to conclude that story, win, lose, or draw, awesome. Would love to do it. But if RVJ is not interested in it, if he's got other priorities in life, he's cooking donuts and that's more important to him, hanging out with his family and his kids, all good, whatever. But don't just let this float out, because I've got a serious goal in respect to arm wrestling, and I want an opponent. So I know Bojidar's keen. So if Rob's out, then I'm sure Bojidar will happily step in.
So Marco TA was saying, congratulations, Pradeep, for being one of the few impartial commentators. Thank you very much. And I don't know whether you are counting Ryan in those few or not. So I too think, Ryan, that RVJ is a bigger match, popularity, social media wise, but you should not waste the opportunity waiting for RVJ. And my question for you would be, what do you think about Core Sports? Do they think that Bojidar is big enough of a social media personality to be invited on King of the Table platform or not?
I don't know. I think they should respect Bojidar for sure. As a 80 kilo world champion, he's very dominant. He's a great character as well. The man's funny. He can talk. So he'd be good on interviews. He'd be good in press conferences, all that sort of stuff. I don't doubt that they would see value in Bojidar. Bojidar's awesome. And it's still an interesting story. I think there's enough people out there who either support me or really don't support me. So there'd be enough people out there jumping on Team Bojidar just because they want to see me lose. So even if Bojidar didn't bring organically a massive amount of social media presence, there'd still be plenty of European fans, the anti-Ryan Bowen fans, that would be just like, hell yeah, Bojidar, kick his ass. And so that'll be good. It'll still be good for Core Sports. But I have heard people throw the name of Evan Burgoyne in there as well. Evan Burgoyne and I would love to face each other. There would be a big story there. He thinks that he could avenge the loss of Bottom 8. That would be really bad for him because it would be far worse than it was last time. That's how I feel about it. So look, if Bojidar couldn't, Evan would be my next pick. But look, I think even Evan and Larry could be a good match. I have a feeling
Larry's done from Super Matches. Did you watch my video that I uploaded yesterday?
I did hear from Larry that he said he was gonna take a break. And he wants to go get 1,000 matches under his belt before he does it. But you never know. I don't know. Larry's one of those. He's in a position where he could at the last minute just change his mind and say, "Hell, screw it. I'm I'm having a super match again. And if I had to pick him a match, I would pick Evan because Evan's incredible. Larry likes marketable people. Evan's marketable. And Evan's not too good for Larry, in my opinion, because the lane that Evan is best at is the lane that Larry can handle best as well. So that's who I'd pick for him.
So Wonder Kanabe is asking what video exactly did Devon delete? We are going to discuss this towards the end of this video. So let's move on to the next match, Matt Mask versus Tim Bresnan. And I think the almost 200 people that are joining right now, maybe they fell for that thumbnail. Maybe they didn't understand that we're going to just discuss that match.
All good.
So,
all good. Well, Matt Mask and Tim Bresnan for me, I think it's going to be fairly one-sided. My money is firmly on Matt Mask in this one. I think that he'll win it 6-0. I think Matt Mask is an arm wrestler that could well be in the top 10 of the overalls. I think that he could get there. Like he's not there now, but he's someone that has the attributes, the strength, and the ability to actually do it. I think he's quite underrated, and he hasn't been as active as others. Obviously, he had his match with Hermes Gasparini where he lost 3-1. I still believe when I reflect back on that match, I still believe that he could have won that day. He had the good side. He lost the first round on fouls in the ref script, so it was a free round to Hermes when Matt Mask had the good side of the strap. When two low hand top rolls were against each other, as we saw in round 3, when Matt had that side, and he won the setup. Yeah, he won. He busted Hermes' wrist back comfortably. Matt's a monster. And when Matt's on point and fired up and motivated, which it seems like he is now, if you look at the schedule of matches that he has signed up to, he's got some crazy matches. If he beats Prudnik, oh my goodness, what are we going to say then? He's the kind of guy that can. So he really is. I cannot rate Matt Mask highly enough, and I can't write him off against someone like Prudnik. So I do think that he will beat Tim Bresnan comfortably. I think Tim Bresnan's style won't be sufficient to get the stop that he needs. I think he may get momentary stops against Matt Mask, but the second or third hit that comes from Matt Mask will overwhelm the hand of Tim Bresnan, and 6-0 to Matt Mask.
I also have Matt Mask winning 6-0. But the problem I have with Matt is that he almost always never hits for the pin. He looks like he hits for the table. Like you will never see Matt Mask holding on, even if it looks like that if he just held on to his opponent, he could have pinned him. Like it looks like he just lets go of his fingers and he hits to smash the table and always gets into the strap. No matter how much greater Matt's pronation is compared to his opponent, he never pins anyone outside of straps. This is what I've seen. And maybe Tim can get him into some trouble inside the straps with his dragging move. But I have noticed one thing.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, I've noticed one thing over a period of last 4 or 5 years, that Matt Mask is slowly developing a shoulder press as well to finish. We saw him do that against Devon when Devon was sliding his elbow off the back of the pad. We saw him doing that against Jerry Kedred. Bringing Jerry from here and then pressing him to the pad is a really, really big task. Many times Travis was not able to do that. So Matt Mask, I think even if Tim is able to stop him, has developed in 2022 a press that is needed to finish off his opponents. I think Matt will win this match 6-0.
Yeah, I agree. I think Matt's sufficiently conditioned in the elbow to transition from a top roll to a press. And I think he's much taller than Tim. Tim is very thick through the chest and he's got that stiff elbow going on. But Tim's hand, if it gets busted back, there's only momentary delays. Tim's not going to come back if his wrist is busted back. So I think that Matt will absolutely finish Tim off. If he has to transition to a press, he'll do it. But I don't even think he'll need it. I think just the aggression that Matt Mask brings, the explosivity that he brings in that top roll will be sufficient. I struggle to find a way for Tim to win this match. I just can't see it.
Right. And Sap the Bee with a big $15 super chat. Before we read that, guys, 232 people watching online. Please subscribe to my channel and Ryan Bowen's channel as well. All the links, all the handles to social media pages are in the description. So Sap the Bee is saying, I believe Levan versus Devon is a handicapped match. Taking away Levan's biggest strength, hand control outside the straps, is like pulling Hutchings, but saying you cannot hook in contract. What do you have to say about that?
It's not quite as bad as that.
I was mad at you, Ryan. I was mad at you when you lifted your hand in support of director's trap. You should have cleared that it is best. It is best for me. Like the question was whether it is good for arm wrestling or not. Of course, it is good for you, but is it good for arm wrestling?
Okay. Well, if we want to, I think that I would by no means want to get rid of outside of strap arm wrestling. There's some great wars that happen there as well. But I do think that all slips should definitely go to straps. I hate the idea of a slip, someone saying that I wasn't holding on or whatever, resulting in end of the match. I think that's crazy. It's dumb. For entertainment's sake, it's absolutely dumb. All slips should go to straps. I think running fouls are an absolute must if we're talking about what works for entertainment's sake. But absolutely straps. Like the WAL went to straps because of time. I know having been in the WAL arena and hearing what's important to them in terms of their live stream and their production value, they were like, we want to get the match started. We need to keep the energy rolling. We need to keep the crowd going. We need to keep that high energy up. And if we dick around with grips and we slip and we dick around with ref grips and we this, that, and the other, lots of fouls, we will struggle to keep a build going on. So the auto strap rule was there to keep the build of excitement going. You never wanted to step down in excitement from the moment you stepped up to the table. And the auto strap rule was like an insurance policy to ensure that actually came about. Because as you said, if you go and watch rigid rule arm wrestling, it's like 50% of matches that happen end with an anticlimactic feel. And I blame the rule sets, the rigid rules, the micro fouls, the slip in losing position calls for that. It's just like, oh, you're kidding me. We lost that quality match because we didn't go to straps. I think the WAL has done it in terms of who's entertained arm wrestling fans best. WAL by an absolute mile. No one even close to their level of entertaining fans. I don't care if you think WAL is a sideshow and it's not respected as arm wrestling. They entertain fans better than anyone else. It's by a mile. And if I could pick anywhere to compete, it would be on the WAL stage again. I hope the WAL comes back with all their glory because they do it best. And and auto strap rule is part of their game. Can't hear you, man. Are you muted? Have you muted yourself?
Yeah. So you didn't answer my question, Ryan. Is it good for arm wrestling or is it good for you? Auto strap rule.
It's both. It's definitely good for me and definitely good for arm wrestling.
I don't understand, man.
No secret that I'm a better strap arm wrestler than I am outside of strap relative to the opponents out there that I may face. There's certain opponents that I don't mind pulling a strap, but yeah, I'm definitely better in strap than outside of it. Right. Rob knows that.
Because I totally agree with you. What you mentioned about the slips, the intentional slips. I am also kind of doubtful always about this topic. Like if I slipped that much higher than the pad, how is that a loss when I was never parallel pinned or anything? At least if you don't want to change it to just a slip, you can change it to foul. But calling it a loss straight away, it just does not make any sense if the elbow was on the pad.
Yeah, 100%. It's dumb. It's really dumb to me. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Just when I see a match end that way, I want to pull my hair out and just think you're killing the sport. So strap them up.
So to address Sab the Bee's super chat once again, is it really going to affect the match? Isn't Levan strong enough to deal with Devon under no matter rules what? If Devon is not able to slip against Levan, can he do something once he get to the straps because the gap is so much that he cannot even slip? Have you ever faced an opponent that you cannot slip against, but you can beat him in a strap?
I have in competition. in competition, have I ever faced someone I couldn't slip but I can beat in straps? Just quickly thinking back, I don't think I've experienced that. I've been able to slip everyone in comp that I've intended on slipping. Actually, no, look, in my early years, Ryan Scott in Australia, the number one ranked wrestler in Australia over the last few years, he was someone that I couldn't slip, and he did pin me outside of straps whilst I was looking to get to straps, and I always used to get frustrated, just think, oh damn it, if we could just get to the straps against this guy. I've since beaten him, and I beat him by I got to the straps, and yeah, but. Like for instance, when I've trained with John Brzezink's a great example of someone who's incredibly dominant outside of the strap, obviously. I absolutely can't slip against John. When I'm training with John and John just decides to hold on, it's like, oh, okay, I need to ask John, hey John, can we please go to the strap? And he'll be like, yeah, all right, we can try the strap. And then it feels so much better in the strap. All of a sudden it feels so much better in the strap. But I haven't not been able to slip essentially in tournaments. I can get to the strap if I like I said, Ryan Scott, there's only been one person and he was way, way, way better than me at the time. So never someone on my level in terms of power and kind of rank within my weight category has been able to stop me from slipping.
Because Devon was talking about making it good for arm wrestling. What is good for arm wrestling? So when we are talking about making arm wrestling better for the future of arm wrestling and better for the audience, we cannot ignore the audience itself. So when Devon asked about this rule, 60% people, even though Devon clearly asked the fans during their live stream, you were also on that live stream, Devon said that please vote for the strap option. Still 60% people voted against Devon Larratt. So how can it be good for the audience when the audience doesn't want it?
Well, I think Devon asked a really dumb question on that poll. I think it was a terrible question. It was confusing. It was poorly worded. There was no context given into it, so it didn't surprise me that people say no. Of course, you need to be able to slip. We need to be able to pull outside of the strap as well. That's fine. Devon does have his finger on the pulse. When it comes to what's best for arm wrestling, Devon has his finger on the pulse. There is a reason why Devon is the most popular arm wrestler on earth. And and the short answer to that is he's the most entertaining arm wrestler on earth. And for instance, when I started getting involved in arm wrestling with WAL, I wasn't here. I was backtrack a bit. I was an offensive style arm wrestler before I really understood what Devon Larratt did. Once I saw Devon Larratt and I started to listen to him, so that he is the influential arm wrestler that he is, I realized that it's because he makes drama on the table. It's because he makes every match seem like a heroic comeback almost. Devon brings to life arm wrestling. In an entertainment sense, he does it better than anyone. And even if you're not a Devon fan, I think you're going to agree with me on that. Even if you hate Devon Larratt personally, you want him to get smashed, you'll still agree he's the most entertaining arm wrestler on earth. He does a better job at whipping up a frenzy of interest for the sport. And he does that because he entertains incredibly well. So I like to emulate that in my style. I looked for means and methods of actually creating the excitement of sport, the excitement of conflict through arm wrestling. So I've now even forgotten what your question was, Pradeep. I don't even know what I'm talking about now, other than the fact that Devon's the best at arm wrestling, and Roman's here to tell me that Levan's going to kill him. What's going on, man?
Yeah, guys.
How you doing, guys?
Let's welcome Roman from SG Records. He's the man behind all of the crazy good edits that you have seen about arm wrestling videos, arm wrestling topics, motivational videos.
First time I put a face to the name, man. I've been watching your stuff. It's killer. Well done. Love it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Pradeep, for the invitation in the today's live stream. And before we jump into the main subject, I just clearly want to clear that out. When we started the live stream without me today, you said that I supposed to be pissed on Ryan because maybe he's more towards the Devon. But the thing is, as far as I'm concerned, from his latest recent videos, I think Ryan is staying neutral, and he's like nobody is lying type of position. And to me, obviously, it's understandable. But so there is nothing about me being upset on Ryan. The thing is, what I'm upset about, what said, those bad words about Levan, we all know, and maybe some of them, some of us, or some of the fans or community would say that it's just a trash talk, and in the end, it just serves more pay-per-view sales and stuff. But I don't care about pay-per-views as long as it's getting too out of hand. And for me, it was kind of too much from Devon. For me, as not only just a fan of Levan, obviously I'm Georgian and I'm gonna support him. But the thing is, Devon Larratt is one of my favorite arm wrestler, and I was disappointed as his fan what he did. And the video that I uploaded yesterday, which still surprisingly to some people have more than 95% of like-dislike ratio, even though I called Devon Larratt liar in some aspects. The thing is, the reason of this video was that to point out the subjects that Levan, I believe, is saying truth, and point out the subjects that Devon, I believe, is saying wrong things. I'm not just calling somebody else liar, and it's just masks the truth that they have. Obviously, I understand that I even pointed out in my video what type of truth actually Devon has in his own perspective. But when he calls Levan a liar, I believe that's not true, because I heard both of them. I heard what Devon had to say. I personally got in touch with Levan, and he even commented on my video, recent video I'm talking about, my latest one. And since I judged both of them from their both perspective, I found some flaws, I found some disagreements in their context. And I believe the video that I made yesterday pointed out the subject that Levan has his truth, which obviously doesn't rhyme well with what Devon said. It's just contradicting, and you either going with Devon's side or Levan's side in those subjects. So I believe what Levan said about contract when he signed, he clearly did not know about rule sets. Obviously, he knew how King of the Table usually have this rule set, but he also knew and pointed that to me as well that when he asked before he signed contract, he asked, and they told him that about rules, they will discuss it later prior to the match, maybe 1 or 2 days prior to the event. So Levan knew that there was nothing specific about the rules yet when he signed the contract. However, Devon claims that Levan somehow knew that there would be auto-strap rule applied, and he still signed, and now he's complaining about it, which is not true. And that was the whole reason. And somehow that goes too much, and now it's becoming a drama. And yeah, here we are today. This is the truth, man. So both of them have truth, and both of them has their own perspective to watch. You just have to choose one.
Your thoughts?
I think if anyone's going to take a lesson from this, it's probably core sports. It's probably core sports need to realize now that they need to, in their contract, very clearly stipulate the rules. To not be vague and say WAL, or leave it open that they could discuss it afterwards. Because there's, if you're looking at that 2.2 paragraph 2.2 in the contract where it said it will be WAL rules, but then the very next sentence after it says something like or subject to conversations that they have. So it didn't actually lock it down. It left it open. So yeah, and interestingly, I have a contract for King of the Table as well. My 2.2 is completely different to Devon's 2.2. Mine doesn't say WAL. Mine says some freaking weird made up organization that I've never heard of. As for the rules, so I'm like, oh, what's even that? So yeah, what do you got,
Ryan, your 2.2 is different. John's 2.2 is different. Everybody's 2.2 is different. Nowhere 2.2 is mentioned, but only in Devon's contract. So does that mean that Devon specifically demanded that rule?
It must have been. Devon must have said, hey, well, this is what it's going to be. So core sports are probably, like I said, the lessons probably for core sports that they need to communicate better with all of their athletes and not just tailor make contracts on the spot to get someone to agree. But they're a new organization in the sense of doing it for arm wrestling. So it's all a thing. And I agree with what you've said there, Roman, that I think there is neutrality in it, that both athletes are representing truth for them. I don't think either one's looking to lie.
From my perspective, I think they both are trying to defend their truth. And I have no reason to doubt what Devon said. And when Devon said that he specifically asked for the rules. You have reason to doubt it.
Yeah. Because Ryan,
what is it?
The reason is that Ryan, you have said on your channel that I could be a lawyer. So I did some of the lawyer findings, my research. What I found is King of the Table 1 Devon versus Levan match announced on Core Sports Instagram 10th of March. We remember that Devon clearly said that he never signs a contract without knowing the rules. I think you all know that. So 10th of March, the event was announced. Rule discussion with Bill Collins, Michael Todd, Bill Collins and Devon Latt on Devon's channel on 4th of May. And when was the match? The match was on 28th of May. So the rule discussion was almost 2 months after the match was announced. And I just cannot believe that they signed the contract after 4th of May when the match was on 28th of May. There is absolutely no way that Devon signed the contract before deciding the rules. He first signed the contract, then the rules were decided at King of the Table 1. And now Devon is saying that he never signs the contract without knowing the rules.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he set a different precedent there. All that said, one thing that you mentioned pretty early on that I think is very relevant is that Levan actually isn't worried about being in the strap with Devon at all. In the arm wrestling sense, he's the favorite no matter where this match goes. Levan is the favorite no matter where this match goes. He's just that strong.
He even told me, Ryan, sorry to interrupt you. He told me that the day when we all know he made the post on his community page on YouTube. That's basically what he has said. He had never done any interviews or videos since. So the day before, on that day when he updated us with that post, prior to that post, he had this conversation with discussion about the rules to meet agreement with Devon and Core Sports and him, all those three sides. And on that meeting, online meeting, he even also said not only just he's so confident to beat him with any type of rules, but he even told them Devon can start with 5-0 already in advantage of him, and he will still beat him. So obviously, it can also be referred as a funny stuff, as a joke. But the thing is, it just shows how confident Levan actually is. And people has to know that Levan obviously doesn't have a problem pulling Devon with any type of move because he is confident. But Levan's problem was what Devon said specifically wrong about him, and that's it. And that's the reason all this drama.
So what video did Devon take down? I saw the comments about that. I wasn't aware he's taking a video down. What did he take down?
I watched that video. I was on my phone when Devon uploaded that video. And I was the first viewer for that video, first viewer. If I commented it, I could have commented it.
Which video?
So the name of the video was Rules Rant. I think something like that. Rules Rant.
I didn't see it.
He uploaded a video, and in that video, basically what I didn't like is that Devon said that the 30-second straight to strap rule is the closest thing that we have seen to perfection in arm wrestling. He was pissed off at everyone for not arguing why the rules were changed at King of the Table 3. And he said that the referee's grip that is followed in WAF is the worst nightmare possible for arm wrestling. And I do not agree with any of those comments.
I do agree that it's the worst thing for arm wrestling. I'll give you an example. I have watched multiple. I was sitting there at the Zloty. I saw 10, maybe 20 matches end without it even starting because of movement in the ref script. Who wants that? Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Let
me finish. I've personally lost matches. I've personally lost a match for squaring my own shoulder. In a ref script, you're not meant to move. I recognize within myself, I'm not actually square. I should probably square myself for the referee. I moved my non-arm wrestling shot like that. They went foul, loss. That is rubbish for arm wrestling. Rubbish. Anyone who defends that is ridiculous. If you're talking about, is it good for the sport?
Defend that, Roman.
I want to make 2 points, two main big points in this case. So first is to fix these rigid rules that we don't like, and we call it like a non-entertainment, and it needs to be fixed, is one thing. And applying auto-strap rule is different. We can fix those rigid rules without applying auto-strap. This is first point. And second point, just a personal question to you, Ryan. Did you like the John Devon match? First round lasted 5 minutes within the rules that Devon actually likes. Before they said even ready go, they were 5 minutes complaining about stuff.
No, I thought that was poor refereeing from Bill. I thought Bill needed to take control of that, and he was intimidated by the two men at the table. I think Bill dropped the ball.
And I have this type of solution, could be called it like this. Just get rid of this 30-second gripping straight to the ref's grip, straight to the as fast as possible. And those points that you just made, that it was on Bill's call and he should have been refereeing better in that case, with the fair referee, a good referee, straight to the ref's grip, ready go, bang. Sometimes it finished even without going in straps. Sometimes it just slip and go strap. No, and also Pradeep's point about slip picking or losing position, that makes this very confusing. Just all slips straight to the straps. That would be the fastest and most fair arm wrestling rules that you could get.
I agree with the all slips to straps. The ref script, the way that rigid rules interprets ref script, to me, like I said, I've seen too many matches lose for movement in the ref script. Matt Mask lost to Hermes Gasparini round 1, movement in the ref script. For a massive event, you get two world champions together, potential world champions, and that happens. Oh my goodness, the fans are going to go psycho at the organization for doing that. That can't happen. It just can't happen anymore. So you need to adjust. You say, okay, well, why do we have that? We have that because we don't want one athlete to try to unfairly get an advantage, to carve in, to go early, to rise too early, whatever. So we want to create discipline. My personal favorite referee on the planet that I've ever experienced is Travis Bajan. If you've ever pulled an NAL tournament or watched the way Travis starts matches, his tournaments roll fast. There's no fuss. There's no losing matches in ref script. He calls it his set grip. He grabs hold of the wrist, and then he lines up the webbing. He looks at the webbing. He then lets go, steps back, so he can see. That's his opportunity to make sure that these guys aren't going to move. And these guys know that Travis is looking if anyone's going to move. So they don't move. He then comes back and he takes hold of the wrist. He says, close your thumbs, close your hands, go. And to be honest, every time I've started under that, it feels incredibly fair. It feels like no one's had got an opportunity to cheat. And so it honors the sport, and it gets rid of, like I said, the worst way to lose in arm wrestling from an entertainment perspective, to be fouled out for moving in a ref script and never even getting to arm wrestle.
Roman, I would like you to read a super chat from Travis Beginashvili, 10 Hong Kong dollar super chat. And till then, Ryan, I want to talk about slipping topic one more time. They're not slipping, but moving in referee's grip. Roman was saying the 5-minute setup about in the match, John Brising versus Devon Laird. I think it can be interesting, but the setup in arm wrestling can only be interesting for the fans who are really, really invested into that match, whose heartbeats rise when the match is actually happening. For them, the longer the setup is, the better it is. Like if you have
I thoroughly enjoy watching the setup of two guys that I'm interested in. I do enjoy watching because I can see what they're trying to do straight away, and I'm like, oh look, he needs this, he needs that, and a good arm wrestler won't start until they know that they're in the match. We all arm wrestlers do that, and the better you are as an arm wrestler, the more subtle you become at that. But that is an interesting part of the sport. But I do agree, for someone who can't see and read that and can't enjoy that, it's terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible. And we, as the arm wrestlers who can see that, we need to, for the sake of the sport, we need to shelve that. And we need to say, okay, look, we don't get to watch that enjoyable minute of subtlety for the sake of the 99 other percent of people who are watching that are fans that just think it's stupid and wasting time. They like you ask a typical fan what's going on when they watch a match video back, and they'll say that they skipped 80% of the video. They're constantly skipping through to the point where it's just at the go. That's a truth that exists. I do it even a lot of the time. I can't stand watching. If someone sends me a video and asks me, "Hey Ryan, can you have a look at this video and tell me what I did right or wrong, whatever?" I can't stand watching the minute of them getting ready. I just skip forward to, all right, give me 3 seconds before the ref says go, then I'll watch. So we have to do a better job as a sport, and part of it is fixing up those rigid rules. And yeah.
I agree, Ryan, but applying auto strap is not the only way to fix that. We can like come up with the better option to have also fair arm wrestling for those fans and like myself and those 60% of the people on the Devon's poll he pulled there, and also have this entertainment there. Not just applying auto strap rules straight away is not the only option to fix that. That's what I'm saying. We can have best of both worlds.
Well, yeah, and I agree with that. That's fine. Like I said, I don't want the sport to be a strap only sport. I think that we should just eliminate all the nonsense that awards a winner before that. So the all slips to straps would fix that. The changing the rules of and the way in which referees go about a ref script and fouling people in that respect. Getting rid of the deliberate elbow foul to get a restart. That's another thing that kills fans' interest levels. So the running foul, I personally think you need to add a professional foul, because the one problem with the running foul is it can be exploited, and you can deliberately do such a major foul that it becomes truly a massive advantage for you. And that I would call a professional foul, and you would lose that round immediately if you do that. So should be the only subjective rule, being the referee can say, no, that was a professional foul, deliberate professional foul, you lose the round. But all incidental fouls should be just running fouls, carry on, find the winner.
So when Roman joined the live, about 5-10 minutes in, Travis Begin actually super chatted, can SG be a bit more concise? We get the point. I think he's saying that it's okay, Roman, we got the point. Am I reading this correctly?
I think I spoke too much. Maybe I was beating dead horse too long. So yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. All good.
Yeah.
So I think, Ryan, sometimes I get worried or confused if we are trying to shorten the matches way too much by removing everything, removing the setup. Is it arm wrestling really a boring sport to watch? Because no matter what, the matches end within 15-20 minutes. I mean, people still watch test cricket for 5 days. I know the attention span is like 3 times lower than what it used to be 10-15 years ago, when the internet was a really, really big thing. But do we really need to reduce everything, like the setup time?
No, we don't.
Everything.
We don't. Look, arm wrestling, what makes arm wrestling enjoyable, it's not actually, like, to be honest, most fans are interested in the story of the build up to a match and the aftermath of the told you so factor. Everyone wants to that makes up, I think, 80% of the entertainment. The match itself is almost, like I said, it's almost incidental if the story has been good prior. So I do think that there's so many other factors that matter more, but in the same sense, we will lose people from the sport if we don't do a good job of presenting the actual matches. And one of the biggest ways is to have matches end on fouls. And like, for instance, if Devon Larratt and Levan Saganishvili face and there is no auto strap rule, or if they're going to foul Devon as he slips, the match will end 6-0 to Levan, with every win being Devon fouling. Because Devon will not just hold on and simply lose. Devon will do everything within his power to get to the strap, And if he can't do it legally, he will do it illegally, and then he'll argue with the ref to say, hey, put me in the damn strap. And if the ref calls it as it is, it'll be a foul. We won't see anything but fouls. And that would be one of the biggest disappointments possible for this match. This match will have more eyes on it than any other arm wrestling match in the history of the sport. So we need to make sure its rule sets are going to enhance the match, make it the most amazing spectacle the arm wrestling world can have. If we miss that opportunity and we see 6-0 to Levan with Devon fouling out trying to slip, that's a travesty.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
I think if the elbow is on the pad, no matter what, Devon deserves the straps. But I think I'm going to confuse the viewers a little bit on this. What exactly is the difference between set grip and referee's grip? Because I clearly remember Bill Collins mentioning that if you do not take a grip, once you're in the grip, once I'm trying to set you up, it will be a foul. So I was questioning. I made a video that if moving in the referee's grip or not taking a grip was a foul, then how can there be only one foul in 5 minutes of setup during the John Brzezinski versus Devon match, round 1? It is simple math. If you are not complying to the referee, if you are not taking a grip, it is a foul. Then how can there be only one foul in 5 minutes? That was my basic mathematics question. So Devon replied to me privately. He was saying that it is not a foul. And I showed him the video where Bill Collins is saying in the rules briefing that it is a foul. And Devon was like, no, Bill did not express it clearly. So Bill Collins does not know what the rules are in King of the Table. How can we know?
Yeah.
So do you know, Ryan, what is the
get
difference? What is the difference
referees
between
get intimidated. Referees get intimidated by athletes, intimidated by the moment and the pressure, the anticipation, because they don't want to get in the way of a good arm wrestling match. The last thing a referee wants to do is be frowned upon by the fans for ending a match on fouls and not letting us see it. So they're trying to walk the tightrope of giving the athletes rigid and consistent rules, and also giving the fans the match that they're hoping to see. So I don't envy the position of the referees. And like I said, when it was the Devon and John one in particular, that was a huge match in terms of the two names that Bill was refereeing, very difficult. So as I understand it, the difference between a ref's grip and a set grip, really just, I mean, the ref's grip is the origin of it's coming from the WAF. It's very particular. There is absolutely no movement. You have to set your shoulder position, set your elbow, set everything, and don't move. And then it is going to be a very deliberate, communicated closing of the hands from the referee, not from you, but from the referee, and then an immediate go from there. The set grip, however, is very different. You can still be somewhat moving your body, even though you're steady and center. You can't turn your wrist in. You still have an ability to negotiate the pressures of the hand, the pressures of the position you're in. You can still make minor adjustments right up until the go. And in that time, in that set grip, the referee will make sure you're centered and webbing is even. That's really all they're looking for, that you're centered, your webbing's even, and your wrist is straight. Then they let you close your thumb and you close your hand. They're still looking for you coming over the knuckle, but you get to control how you close it. And the same thing, as soon as they are closed, they will go. So there's just a lot more freedom in the set grip than there is in the ref's grip. And they don't foul you for the micro movements. And that's a great thing for entertainment. WAL does that very successfully, even though it looks sloppy and people who love rigid rules are dying watching people move early and get away with it. As long as both athletes are on the same page and they have the same opportunities, which they do when they're in that environment, then it's all good, in my opinion.
And Ryan, the comment that you made about referee's grip being horrible, I think if referee's grip is gone, we can say goodbye to fair starts in arm wrestling. Is it possible without referee's grip?
Why is a set grip unfair? Explain to me why a set grip's unfair.
Because if you can move, why are you not going to move?
You can
this is a
both
simple
move.
question.
You can both do it.
But then it isn't like that. Like if there is a
If you and me have the exact same opportunities, we're both allowed to to
Then
be
why is
doing
there even a
this
referee? Then
being
why is
live,
there
as
even
long
a
as our-
referee, Ryan?
Pardon?
Then why
Missed it.
is there even a referee? We can still both do
To get
whatever
the
we
match
want.
started. The referee's there to get the match started. The referee, like I said, I just want to know why is it unfair if both athletes have the exact same opportunity?
Then that contradicts the point that you made. Then those movements can last so long that it will kill the point of
But the set
having
is going to
fast.
happen when Travis Bajan's holding
I
onto
like that
your
grip.
wrist. He's literally holding onto your wrist like this, and he will look at your shoulders. Everything. He's like, "Yeah, shoulders are square. Okay, close your thumbs, close your hands, go." It happens no
Voice
matter
impression.
what. It happens. Yeah. It literally.
Yeah.
You can't stop the start coming. You can feel it coming. You're like, "Oh shit, here it comes. I'm going." So no, there is. It's not unfair.
Okay, then
to
we can
either
have
athlete.
it.
Just
We can have it
someone
like
does it
straight
better.
away. Yeah, straight away. Then ready go. And if they slip, any type of slip, straight to strap. That's it.
Yeah. Let's
That's
do
the
it.
issue.
I think-
That's the solution.
Slips to straps. At happy days.
Guys, I truly believe that it is not the rules that are the problem. We need referees that do not surrender to the aura of the arm wrestlers like Devon Laird. Travis Bajan is one. Travis Bajan.
Pradeep, you'd be happy if Devon, the first millimeter he moves in a ref script against Levan, they just say foul. You're one foul, and then he looks at Bill and says, "What the hell are you on about?" Second one does it again, foul, winner, Levan. If that happens 6 times, you happy?
Nobody is going to do that 6 times, Ryan. This is the problem.
They
The
would.
athletes
Devon will.
no.
Devon would.
The athletes know that when the referee is all business, he's not joking like Travis. Why don't
Okay,
people move in
I
Travis's
disagree
set grip?
so much with you on this. I disagree so much with you on this because no athlete is going to respect that. There is always an opportunity. Okay, this is a fight that starts when your names are called to the table. It's not a fight that starts after the go. And that's human nature because human nature will do everything they can do to win. And the setup, as we know as arm wrestlers, is so incredibly critical. And if you sit perfectly still, if you do nothing and your opponent does something, they will have an advantage. And everyone will try to do something without the referee noticing, even if they're saying they're not. Trust me, they are. It's a game of who can do the most and not get caught, no matter what the rule sets are. So no one is ever going to just purely be honest and not move anything unless they just flat out know they're way stronger than their opponent. Then they can just say, yeah, take anything, fine, whatever. But we're talking about matches where we don't know who's going to win, where these two guys are both in it. None of those two guys. And at the end of the day, when two guys are balanced like that, they're the most exciting matches on earth. So when two guys are balanced, no one's going to be perfect as an athlete. That means we're going to see matches end on, no, you moved. Sorry, see you later. Screw that. Screw that.
So we have 2 super chat, guys. We are going to read the later one first. From Travis Beginashvili again, 25 Hong Kong dollars. Someone is always cheating. He's with you, Ryan, on this. Someone is always cheating. Coach Ray said that even the ref grip allows a lot of cheating. This is what Devon also said, that there is a lot of cheating in the referee's grip. When he removed the video, in that video, Devon said that.
Oh, there's heaps. There's so much room for favoritism from the referee in ref script. You can totally pick if you want to make one person win in a ref script, easy done. So easy to do. So easy to do. It's ridiculous. Where a set grip gets rid of that as well. The referee can't control it as much. So yeah, I've felt some. Literally, when I went to Zloty and I experienced the ref script for the first time, I pulled left hand and I was like, oh wow, I'm glad I'm pulling left to feel how crazy this is. I got fouled in a match. I think it was against Vias and Thulis, and I was like, wow, I did nothing in that, and they're saying I fouled. And so yeah, it scares you into sitting absolutely still, like nothing, and then you can feel your opponent's not being still, and you're like, hang on, why didn't he get a foul for that? And it's crap. Just center the webbing, straighten the wrists, get the shoulder square, let the athletes close their hands, go. That's a million times better in my opinion.
So
Yes.
we have a 45 Danish Krona super chat for you, Ryan. A question for you from Mythagoras.
Sure.
Let me read that. Where did the super chat go? Ryan, respond to Engin's comment. I would like three of us to answer this question. Ryan, respond to Engin's comment that arm wrestlers aren't entertainers, they are athletes.
Ryan, you go first.
I think that Engin, that statement belongs in a museum somewhere of the history of arm wrestling. And if that's how we play our cards, then arm wrestling will be nothing. Someone has to take responsibility for growing the entertaining value of the sport. If it's not the athlete's responsibility, then whose is it? Because if the athletes are dry as anything, if the athletes don't care for the entertainment value and they don't care for any of that if they're just pure on arm wrestling and pure on no, it has to be perfect, yada yada yada, the sport will die. The athletes have to take responsibility for the entertainment, more than anyone else, in my opinion, more than the promoters. Because the promoters and referees can't make this sport entertaining alone. It has to be the responsibility of the athletes more than anyone.
Yeah. I think Ryan has a good point. Yeah, Ryan has a good point on this one. I think the first, let's say, party of this whole community is and our athletes who should treat this as a most entertainment value of the sport, because we have to also, I'm on the side of watching this sport as a future. In future, we want this sport to grow. And there are huge discussions going on constantly about this. There are Olympics mentioned and stuff. So as we want to grow this sport, obviously entertainment is a huge part of it. We can't just ignore it. And what I'm saying is, I think Ryan Bowen has a good point on this one. Athletes should be the first ones who must approach this as the future of the arm wrestling. It has to be also entertaining, not only just some... just these strict rules. Those examples Ryan has already mentioned several times in this live stream. So yeah, maybe some people want to see that, but as a sports perspective, to have it bigger and more entertaining, I think athletes should approach it like that.
Yeah, there is a balance that you can have. I understand why Engin wants it to be just pure and let the best arm wrestler win. And I get it, but there is a balance, and it can be achieved. And that's the first step, is acknowledging that balance is out there. And Engin, as a promoter now, he's going to start to change his appreciation, I think, as he starts to recognize what makes his events better. He'll start to realize that there is value in not having matches and under manners that would disappoint fans, and he'll start to then think, okay, maybe we should tweak things. So yeah, there's a balance.
So I also think that the balance should be there. And when a sport is small, the athletes are going to promote it, not the promoters, not the advertisers. No one else is going to do it. I think in every sport that has been small, once the athletes took it to higher levels, then other guys can promote as well through advertisements and other things. But I think that our sport, arm wrestling, will right now benefit more from marketing than entertainment. What can we do about the entertainment if nobody knows matches are happening? Like the Chan Shaw versus Todd Hutchings match, badly marketed. Very few people knew that match was going to happen. Same with the match Ryan Espey versus Michael Todd, and Matt Mask versus Tim President. I would say that 80% of the arm wrestling community do not know where to watch that match and when it is going to happen. So I think it is about 7 hours away from now. So on Armbets TV. And guys, subscribe to our guests as well. Link in the description, please. So I think that right now, the sport would benefit more from marketing, because there are a few stages. First stage is knowing that people know that your event is going to happen. First, we need to conquer that. And very few events are doing that. King of the Table is doing that. East versus West is doing that. Everyone, no matter who you are, everyone knows that the matches are going to happen on February 12th or whatever the date is, June 25th for King of the Table and May 21st for East versus West. Almost everyone knows that. So they have got dialed in the first part, that presence Like people know that you are going to go live on that day. Second part is awareness. Like I would give example of Maggie. Everyone has eaten a Maggie, everybody knows. Then we try to wonder, why are they advertising it, spending millions of dollars to advertise it on television? Because of presence. They need their product to be in your mind throughout the day, so that when you are passing by a shop, you buy it because just because you saw that advertisement 15, 10, 20 minutes ago. So the second stage will be that presence in the viewer's mind, like everywhere, advertisements everywhere. And I was wondering, I was talking with Engin about this topic, that I saw a clip that Floyd Mayweather was talking into a camera. He was promoting the event. Guys, we are going to do this, that, please purchase the pay-per-view, it costs only that much. So if Floyd Mayweather can do that, or should I say Floyd Mayweather has to do that to promote the event, why can't John Brzezinski, Devon, Levan Saginashvili have to do that to promote the event? When was the last time you saw John Brzezinski promoting East versus West? Guys, please purchase the pay-per-view. Never. So if Floyd Mayweather, is John Brzezinski bigger than Floyd Mayweather? Is Devon bigger than Floyd Mayweather?
No, we all need to be learning from those. I watch that sort of stuff all the time. I've been, for 9 years, I've been trying to build a career out of arm wrestling, and I recognized that there was no organization that was going to do it for me. I had to do it myself. So I've done that, and there's still a long way to go. I'm trying to then go from it being an individual career. I'm trying to now build something that can help it become a career for the people around me as well. And there's huge lessons that can be learned from people like Floyd Mayweather and other sports athletes out there that do a good job. Their marketing is interesting. One, for me, the best marketing I've seen in arm wrestling was Game of Arms. Game of Arms delivered. It was really disappointing that it got axed, even though it was very successful on a statistical level. Among TV shows, Game of Arms did really well. It was on billboards in the USA. It was on ads, commercials very regularly in primetime TV, and the clips they put together really well encapsulated the emotions of what it is to arm wrestle. So I think that marketing is something that the sport does need to invest into. I can tell you some organizations that do it reasonably well. WAL. I'll tell you some organizations that do a terrible job. WAF. Can anyone show me a WAF highlight reel? Anyone? Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. And if it did, it would just be a whole bunch of world champions losing with elbow fouls. So they've got so much to learn in terms of marketing. There's a long way to go for the sport still. We're not there yet, but we've got to work on marketing. We've got to work on athletes understanding the comprehension of being entertainers. We've got to realize that we need to adjust the rule sets to allow for these things to happen. And then we've got to have an organization big enough, brave enough, and well funded enough to actually pull it all together. Because at the moment, we're relying on individual athletes to do this. And people like Larry to bring it together with Core Sports, who are no doubt trying to learn all of these lessons, but it's something that you can only get one component right at a time, and then you've got to try to improve the next component. So it's just, there's too many components to just nail it straight off the bat. But if we talk about all these different components that can be improved and recognize them, then we can slowly refine them all together. But like I said, I hope WAL comes back. I think they were the best product out there for entertaining new fans, and they spend money on marketing. They put Devon Larratt on NBA shows with Shaq, and they get him in places that grows the sport. So they understand marketing. They understand entertainment. You might disagree with their rules, but look, they were the best product by a long way. I hope they come back.
Right. We have a few comments and super chats to discuss. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television, Christian Wickeland, his membership comment, things are getting spicy here, I like it. He commented that about 10-15 minutes ago when we were discussing the rule, not agreeing with each other. And after that, we have a super chat from Aussie Arm Wrestler. 3 superstars having a great chat about his 3 superstars having a great chat about this great sport, all contributing immensely. Ready, bang. Thank you very much, brother. Cannot appreciate it enough.
Great guy.
Then
Also.
Sweden Arm Wrestling Television with a super chat. I have a great time listening to these awesome guys. Keep it up. Thank you very much, guys. And guys, please subscribe to Sweden Arm Wrestling Television as well. He's supporting my channel right from the beginning. Sab the B with another super chat. Marketing is important. Look how few views are the Arm Wars videos getting despite being super entertaining because of less marketing. So Ryan, your thoughts about Arm Wars videos getting less views?
I think I'm the only channel out there that has a daily marketing spend. I don't think anyone else is doing it, but I'm sure most people have seen my pre-roll pound for pound arm wrestling ad that pops up in front of other YouTube channels, videos, and things like that. I see it as an essential spend in a business plan. So I think that everyone needs to market. It's not enough to just rely on the content to organically do all the work itself. One video going viral can change it, but you got to ask yourself the question. Look at the Arm Wars channel. Look at the WAL YouTube channel. I know WAL's been around longer, but if you go back and look at the historical data of WAL channels, they hit millions of views straight off the bat. Straight off the bat, they're doing it. Why? Why were they getting millions of views? Because they marketed their brand and they paid for advertising and they got themselves in front of those audiences. Arm Wars has amazing matches, amazing storyline, amazing production, but they don't, and it's no fault of Neil, he just doesn't have the budget to do it yet. That's why we need someone like WL who has the deep pockets, and we're all trying to build this sport one step at a time. It's difficult. I personally like to keep an even spend. When I talk about how I build my arm wrestling channel and build my brand, I straight away work in percentages, and I reinvest 15% of my revenue into advertising every single month. It's happening. So as it all grows, it grows together and it compounds. If you don't allocate that early, you'll struggle to want to allocate it later. But when you are starting to grow, so I think that marketing has a massive place in Arm Wars. I don't know the details behind the scenes, the numbers of what Neil's working with in terms of costs and expenses and overheads and whatnot. But I do think that marketing needs to be one of those spends.
Roman, your thoughts about marketing?
Well, first of all, I think Brian Bowen is, if not the only one of the best arm wrestler who is also involved in marketing, not only on his own brand, but also just general. We have seen him promoting several matches even in PAL. The best to mention is Dennis versus Devon when it was back in that time. So, yeah, I would like to congratulate that on that successful part of your career, Ryan, you got going in terms of marketing. And the thing is, yeah, I can only agree on the stuff that has been said here. Marketing is very crucial and important parts of arm wrestling as a sport to grow. And I would like to know both of your opinions about this stuff. We saw how Michael Todd, his last pay-per-view we saw was great. It was worth it, definitely. But then now he's making it free. And the reason I believe is behind all that he has some deals with sponsors, with advertisement and stuff. So I think I want to know your opinions about this type of marketing and branding and promoting the events. I think that's the best approach. I think that's even better than just buying pay-per-views. Imagine if you have covered your event from the sponsors, like everything is sorted out, everything is covered. And you have your sponsors also covered by advertisements, and they get their marketing share. Then there is only one thing left to approach the audience and to reach out as much as audience as possible. Obviously, best option is to have it free, just like MNTs do. So I just wanted to hear also your opinions about that, about the approach, and should we pursue that direction? Should we also have the same approach for every other possible super match events?
It's trial and error, and I'll tell you one very clear reality that I don't know you may have experienced yourself, Pradeep. I'm not sure if you've tried this, but it is not simple to get yourself a sponsor. It's not an easy thing, and if you're an entry level promoter, good luck. Get sponsor giving value to a sponsor is a very important thing. If you're going to do it, you have to keep. You do not want that sponsor to pay $5,000 and then walk away thinking, shit, that was just a waste of money. The sponsorship route makes the vast majority of entry level promoters fail. It happens time and time again. We've seen it. I've seen it in 9 years of me watching and being involved in arm wrestling. I feel like I've seen it 20 or 30 times where an arm wrestling promoter gets a sponsor for an event and we never see it happen again on all levels, local levels, state levels, national levels, international levels, even. Think of Moldova, for instance. Looked massive, huge sponsors, promised the world, didn't happen again. Because why? Sponsor didn't get a return that they were happy with at the end of the day. And like I said, sponsorships is a difficult thing. Igor Mazarenko, the PAL, he's probably the best example of nailing sponsorships. He's had great relationships with brands for decades and has done well in that respect. But yes, to get the ball rolling, I like the pay-per-view model because it allows you to proportionally grow. You can still hunt sponsors, but in the meantime, you have some form of revenue. And again, if you're sharing revenue as a percentage of the overall take to the athletes and referees and all that, then everyone feels like they're on board with it, and they're all getting paid proportionally and being rewarded proportionally for their efforts. So I like the pay-per-view model as well, particularly for entry level. Like I said, I would always hunt the sponsors as well. And if Red Bull rings me up and says, Ryan, we want to drop $300K on a sponsorship, but we want it to be free. Yeah, of course. Okay, we don't need a pay-per-view when there's $300K coming in, and then clearly you're going to be able to do massive things. But Red Bull's not? There's no brands running out to do that, to sponsor to that degree, because our sport presents like a grassroots sport still. So we need to improve a whole lot more things, I think, before we can truly rely on sponsors. Unless you are a Steve Kaplan who already has a network to talk straight away to the big brands. It's very difficult to do for someone, and at Monster Michael Todd level, he's got enough sway that he can land decent enough sponsors. I don't know what Michael's paying the athletes to turn up, but I know that he'd be paying them something. He's paying them a couple of grand each, probably, and maybe an extra grand for the winner. Might help him out with the travel. So he's looking at $20,000-$25,000 expenses to make something like that happen. So good on him for being able to get those sponsors. I hope that they're happy at the end of the day, but try to imagine that. Try to think of yourself as a grassroots promoter. Where do you find 20 grand in value that you can give? If you've got a YouTube channel that's only got a couple thousand subscribers, are you confident that you're going to impress that sponsor? If they drop 20 grand on you, you're going to be terrified at that event. When your live stream goes out there and there's only 200 people watching, you're going to be wanting to hide because your sponsors just paid 20 grand for it. So it's not an easy task.
Right. I also think that supporting the big events is really difficult, but there are some big matches right now in arm wrestling, big events like the East versus West event. If the videos were promoted really well, and I think they were, the combined video views that they are going to get over a period of 1 year are very easily going to cross 2-3 million views at least. So like Michael Todd is going to do this time, he's going to integrate ads between those live stream, and those videos are going to be there forever. So at least 4 million, 3 million people are going to watch the ads. So I think this is a powerful tool. And about sponsorships, small level sponsorships can be there. Like Ryan, I've been getting email requests almost every week to do a sponsored video, but I always decline them. I have stopped replying to them because most of them ask for a 1 minute ad, at least 1.5 minute ad, and I cannot do that. Once when I had about 3,000 subscribers, I got an email from the company and they were offering $100 for 4 videos and less than 30-second ad integration in one video. So I kind of liked that. I did that. So if a 3,000 subscriber channel can get $25 for 30 seconds worth of time in his video. I think it is a good enough deal, especially from where I am coming from. Like from where I'm living, it is a good deal for me. But supporting events from sponsorships, I think you need to have at least a Larry Wheels level channel, 2 million subscribers.
Well, yeah. I'll
Anything
tell you
less
right
than
now.
that
I
is going
mean,
to be
for
really
sure.
difficult.
if you want to quickly work out on a very basic level how much your viewership is worth, $15 per 1,000 views is roughly what it would be worth to a sponsor if you're delivering a 1-minute video. That's kind of the market rate. So you do the math on how many 1,000 views you've got to have to cover the bill to pay the athletes and travel and whatnot. It's a lot of views. It's a lot where you could generate that with 2,000 members of a pay-per-view. You could generate that same amount, which is easier to achieve. I don't know.
You were saying
So for
something on-
starters, I just because this was actually this subject was brought by me, so I just wanted to hear both of your opinions, and now I heard both of them, and so you just to conclude this, Ryan, your opinion is just for starters, like for the ones that doesn't have that much capability to reach out sponsorship and get sponsorship, is best way would be pay-per-views like Larry Wheels is doing right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, my start point, if I reflect on my 9 years, there was no pay-per-view going on at all. Because my channel, I didn't have any credibility. I didn't exist in any sort of influence in the sport at all. And I couldn't get a sponsor. I was like, okay, so how am I going to do? So what I personally did was I created this damn thing. I created a product that I thought I could advertise for. I said, well, okay, I'm convinced there's some advertising value here, even though I can't land a sponsor. Maybe I can start a company that can then benefit from the advertising that I'm trying to gain in a sponsor. So I created a product to sell, and it started off with just t-shirts, things like that, t-shirts and equipment and all that sort of stuff, because I believe there is advertising value. So that was how I started. So I created a product to receive the benefit of the arm wrestling value. Then I started just getting revenue from social media streams. I had a couple of sponsors here and there as well, which made my products cheaper. But I've never had really a cash sponsor. So it's tricky. And then, but the pay-per-view has been great for me for instance, where my channel's at. I had, just over 2,000 people sign up for pay-per-view for the Todd Hutchins and Lachlan Adair match. That was a huge injection of cash, which allowed for reinvestment again. So yeah, it is a good model, but there's no easy or instant way to it at all.
You know, Ryan, there are people in the chat. I'm sure will think, at least if they don't write, at least think that you are a better businessman than arm wrestler. Just as a joke.
They're two parallel pursuits that I have. If I reflect back over my 9 years, there have been times when I've been ahead as an arm wrestler and then ahead as a promoter or a businessman, whatever you want to call it. And I might do a poll on my YouTube. I'll say, am I a better arm wrestler or business person?
I will definitely vote on that one. Yeah, you should do a poll.
I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. We'll watch it live come in. You guys talk whilst I do this.
I was reading the chat. I just missed what you guys are doing right now. I have no idea.
So I just we were talking about these pay-per-views and these sponsorships and stuff, and then I brought this subject up. I told Ryan that, you know, there are gonna be people in the comment chat right now who may think
I heard that.
Right, that he's better there. Yeah. So now he's doing a poll to ask people: is he better businessman or armster, or maybe he's some third option as well.
We're just writing. Which am I better at, arm wrestling or business building?
Can I create a poll from mobile?
My prediction of that poll would be like 60% that you are better businessman. That's my prediction.
Well, I'll let you know as the vote. I love YouTube polls. You get more participation in YouTube polls than anything else, any other social media platform. So we'll see how. Well, I'll wait here. I'll just keep refreshing. The first vote is arm wrestling. Okay, the very first vote is arm wrestling.
I'm gonna hop in that and vote my.
Okay, it's 50-50 now. It's back to 50-50.
Wait for it, Ryan.
Anyway,
it's coming.
I'll give you an update at the end of the show. What else we got, Pradeep?
Where did you create that poll?
On my YouTube community tab.
Okay. I've created one on this live stream as well. So before we get off, Ryan, I quickly want to touch on one topic, and I would like to get your thoughts about both of your thoughts about this topic in less than 2 minutes, I would say. Ryan, this is something that Devon Lett, I want to get back to that topic once again. Devon Lett is experiencing something that he has never experienced before. Devon is someone who used to have, I would say, less than 1% haters and 99% fans. But right now he's in a weird spot. First, Michael Todd was the most hated arm wrestler. Then when his channel got over 15, 20, 25,000 views, Michael's hate reduced drastically and love increased. Then you were kind of going back and forth in terms of getting hate with Michael Todd. You were going for it too. Now you have also started getting a lot of love. Now, am I wrong if I say that Devon Lett right now is the most hated arm wrestler in the world in terms of number of haters?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
because of number of supporters he has.
Yeah,
yes,
yes. Yeah, because he has such a significant piece of attention, and he might be at 45% of people haters now. I don't know. A big percentage of people are anti-Devon, but he still has more followers. He still has more fans than anyone else too, by a long way. Well, this poll's, I can't believe the results of this poll. 74% business now, and I think your poll's doing about the same. Everyone thinks
I predicted 60, but
I haven't arm wrestled internationally.
You manipulated that poll.
I lose.
Come on, man! I just complimented, right?
Everyone thinks I'm a useless arm wrestler now. Look at the size of this forearm. What's going on? Come on.
Yeah, forearm size of the good businessman here. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I put it. People, I have been asked the question a lot of times. Which do I enjoy more? And my answer is still the same. I enjoy the arm wrestling more than the business. I do. There are little times when I enjoy the business more, but I'm very much focused on becoming the best arm wrestler I can be. So absolutely.
Yeah. Great.
So Ryan, I'm going to order COC 2.5 and I'm going to close it before you if I get it in time.
I know. Yeah. Put that poll up right now. Put that poll up. Get rid of the business one. Who's going to close the 2.5 first? Me or Pradeep? I'll bet you $50, Pradeep, that you'll get nowhere near closing the 2.5
Man, I will.
You better hurry up, Pradeep.
I will not get. Okay, what did you just say? I will not get close enough.
No, so he said you will not close it before him.
With terrible technique, I'm already like 3 to 5 mil away. Like, as soon as I get my technique sorted, I'm there.
So you may end up closing it even before I get it delivered.
Yeah, okay, but I'll pay the win to you if you just get it straight away. But day one with that gripper, you have to show me how you go with it. Genuine. And if you close it day one, I'll send you $50 in a super chat.
All right. I'm going to, okay. My gripper expenses are already covered right now. I think I'm going to train myself a little bit. Then I'm going to attempt it. So there is no time frame for it, right? Give me some time after the gripper arrives.
Yeah. That's
cool. I have these grippers. This usually, it's written that it's a 50 kg, but actually it's been used so long that I think it's just dropped to 10 kg or something because it's just funny stuff.
Grippers are notorious for writing numbers on the end of their handles that are just not true. The Heavy Grippers brand that says 100, 200, 300, 400, it's nowhere near it. The Grip Genie 3 that I've got here is at best 60, 70% as hard as the Captain's Crush 2.5. The 2.5 is way harder than a Grip Genie 3. And yet Grip Genie 3 says it's pretty high. And if you look up on the internet, it'll say it's equivalent to some big stuff. But Captain's Crush, much harder from what I've experienced.
Right. Somebody's mentioning your studio setup. That kind of reflects your business, man. Like marketing.
What about this angle? You like that angle? Look at that. There's some technology.
Where is this lens flare gone, Ryan? In the second.
Oh, the lens flare is in post production.
Oh, really?
I
I thought
got
it
it.
was
I got
real.
it. I was
Oh,
no,
There's a
no, no.
lie.
I clearly got it.
Oh man,
Look.
I really got sold on that one.
No, I
Man.
Oh,
the
yeah,
first time
go on, go on.
the first time I saw that video, I was 100% sure that this is post production edition in layers.
Oh yeah.
Imagine,
Look,
guys,
and
perspective.
that's me watching successful YouTube channels and going, and like I said, you can't improve everything all at once, but you can always look for something to improve. And I was watching YouTube channels I'd never seen before that had immense viewership, and I was like, oh, what are they doing? And I saw a lens flare in one of them, and it just looked freaking badass. So I built this angle here to try to emulate that. And in the post production, yeah, I put some lens flares up there.
Yeah, I really thought
Which
it was your
angle's
camera.
better? Which angle's better for a live? This one or this one? Which one do you guys like? I can look stronger in this one, that's for sure.
I think in this angle the lighting is a little bit low unless you're intentionally trying to go for the dark theme. Like half of your face is almost not visible, really
Yeah.
dark.
Well,
I'm
I
trying to
think
get the
to switch
Batman
time to
vibe.
time with both of them would be the best, because yeah, it's
Okay.
so easy just for you just to switch. Then I think
Yeah.
time to time, yeah,
Yeah.
would be best.
So
That's good.
Ryan,
I agree with that. I like that. I forgot that I had this here, that I could even do this tonight in this live.
I really have the skinniest fingers out there, really, really skinny fingers, but I do have some grip strength. Right now, even I would not bet on myself closing the 2.5, but I think I can get the number 2. And when I start doing some workouts, I'm going to get those newbie gains once again, which you are not going to get because I haven't lifted anything in almost a year.
No,
So-
I'm getting immense newbie games on grippers. Trust me, I'm getting heaps of them. Like on the nail bending, I'm 4 days into nail bending. On day 1, I couldn't close the blue. On day 2, I got the blue closed in 5 minutes. Day 3, I had a rest from the blue, and today I closed the blue in 28 seconds, and it was like, oh, that was nothing. So the newbie gains are coming in fast. Absolutely.
So Ryan, you got this nail bending idea from Vitaly, I guess, or you just came up with it randomly? Because Vitaly used to do that all the time.
I was aware that Vitaly was a monster at it, but and held world records in the dynamometer and things like that. But the motivation for me doing the grippers was because of the style of arm wrestling I've become. In the last 6 months, I've put so much emphasis on this finger flexion, and it was because of that I had a few grippers lying around. I was incorporating grippers into my daily routine, and I then just thought, well, I need to get myself the full range. And then I thought, well, hell, why not? From the business mind, the YouTube angle as well, I thought, I've never tried to bend the nail before. That just looks like fun. And I do think that's just fun. I don't think that there's any specific correlation I'm looking for from bending nails. It's a hell of a lot of fun. It's definitely toughening up my hands. But yeah, Vitaly is a monster. I watched him bend bloody 3 Iron Mind friggin' 6 mil nails at the same time. It's crazy. That's absurd.
You should get, actually, since you are now getting more into this gripping strength, Ryan, I think dynamometer, just to dynamically you see your progress.
Where it's at.
Yeah.
I
And
agree,
update us as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked at dynamometers, but they're bloody expensive. It's like $500 for a dynamometer that's going to give you an accurate reading. So I'm like, ooh, okay. I have squeezed a dynamometer before. I got like 92 kilos on my right arm, and I got like 78 on my left, which makes sense with the grippers that I can close. That's about right. What's
Guys,
going on, Pradeep?
I think this chat is going to go forever if we don't end it here. It has been almost 2 hours, and Ryan, you also need to go to bed. What is the time over there? 1 a.m., I guess?
No, it's a bit after midnight. 12:15.
Right. So guys, please subscribe to our guest, SG Records. He does these great edits. And Ryan Bowen, most professional arm wrestling YouTuber. Although I think that Voice of Arm Wrestling still has better thumbnails than you, Ryan. But you are still the best arm wrestling YouTuber out there.
There you go. The thumbnail things. It's a constant challenge, isn't it? It's hard to get it right, but it's something that it's worth continuously trying to improve on. But now
I've
you're going to make
noticed
me
you are
look at the
experimenting
Voice
on
of Arm
it.
Wrestling thumbnails. What was that, Rob?
Ryan, I've noticed like for past 6 months or so, you've been experimenting on the how to improve thumbnails, and I think you will get there someday. Yeah, you're if you put that enough work in them, yeah.
I love it. That was like support, backhand. Oh, good, yeah.
Man, I felt disrespected by that statement. I know it was about Ryan.
Now I'm gonna go and check out your thumbnails, SG Records. I'm gonna go have a good look at them and give you a scorecard. Anyway.
So, guys, the pay-per-view, the main topic of this conversation, Tim Bresnan versus Matt Mask and Monster Michael Todd versus Ryan Espey left-handed super match. It is going to be on armbets.tv. I've linked the website in the comments, and it will be a $10 pay-per-view, 6 hours 45 minutes remaining. Please purchase that if you want to support arm wrestling, and please subscribe to our guests as well. Closing statement from you, Roman.
Ooh.
Sorry, my internet froze. What was the last?
Any closing statement from you?
Any closing statement from me? So I'm glad that we covered up the whole this drama stuff and everything. And what else should I say? Except me being thankful to be invited in the show and also get the first chance to actually speak live to Ryan Bowen. I've been following him quite a while now, years, and yeah, I'm thankful, and I'm also thankful for the chats. They are showing us love, support with those super chats and good words, and yeah, that would be my closing words. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Ryan Bowen. Don't subscribe to me. I don't like to promote my channel that much. If you think that it's worth to subscribe or look into it, then go ahead. Why not?
You got good stuff, man. You got good stuff.
And Ryan,
thanks, Ryan.
Any closing words for our viewers?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of something funny on the spot. I'm not good at that. Yeah, I enjoyed tonight. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the comment section as well. You guys were killing it in there. Still a lot of interesting debate. It's going to rage on, this whole Devon and Levan and rules and what's best and what's not. It's never going to end. So I look forward to continuing that conversation for the next couple of months. Everyone, please get on RVJ's case. Find out for me if he's actually wanting to pull or not. That's a good one. I might end on that. But Pradeep, thanks very much. And also, Roman, good to meet you for the first time, man. Enjoyed your insights. Make sure you work on your thumbnails a bit more.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Like teasing compliment.
All right. Thanks to both of you guys. You can drop off right now, and I'm going to read the comments for about 5-10 more minutes.
All right. Take care, man.
Take care.
So Dandelion mentioned that people who have been involved in this sport for decades have essential understanding and viewpoints that should carry a lot of weight. You're too quick to insert your opinion despite a lack of experience. Guys, my opinions are not hurting anyone. If my opinion is saying that do not subscribe to RVJ, do not subscribe to Engin Terzi, do not buy this pay-per-view, then my opinion is hurting someone. But right now, I don't think my opinions are hurting anyone. So I'm going to continue with my opinions. And there is not a single channel in this world that does not give opinions. YouTube is not possible without opinions. This is what I think. Disagree, actually. He's very entertaining. Brett, thank you very much. This is what I said, all doing Pythagoras. Thank you very much for your support. And the sport wouldn't be where it is today without Devon. Agreed. Mr. John, did Ryan's Facebook get fixed? No, his Facebook did not get fixed. He had to create another channel, and he lost around $4,000 monthly revenue because of that. That is really, really disappointing on Facebook's part. Devon, I'm coming from you barefoot second actually. A lot of LOLs going on. I don't know what it was about. So love your channel, Pradeep. Eric is saying thank you very much, Eric. Ryan Bowen versus Levan. Ryan all day. Easy match. We are live streaming tournament super matches are pay-per-view. Okay, Alex 1750. Thank you for the clarification. Roman is a legend, arm wrestling newbie. Good to see him getting some support. Arm wrestling news close with the poll results. What are the poll results? 75% Ryan is a businessman. All I got from this was Bowen enjoyed the guys' insights. Okay. Great show. Cheers. Poll results. It's okay, but you need to be more knowledgeable. Right. I will be knowledgeable. I'm only 3 years into this sport. So the knowledge is definitely going to increase. It won't be a problem. Like the problem starts when people try to compare what I said with what Engin Terzi said, with what Devon Laird said. Of course, I can also be correct in some topics, maybe 5 out of 100 in which they are wrong. It is possible with everyone. But comparing me, my thoughts, my predictions, or my breakdowns with them is not fair. They have been in the sport for 30 years. I have been in this sport. I've been observing this sport for 3 years. Try to compare my knowledge about arm wrestling with someone who has been in arm wrestling for less than 3 years. Then you will not say that I'm not knowledgeable about the sport. And it does not mean that I cannot comment about the guys who have been in the sport for 30 years. Anyone can do that, in my opinion. Paul Barrett is saying, I do appreciate your point of view. Thank you very much, Paul. Damien Mason, yep, Pradeep, life is about opinions. There cannot be, like, if I make a video about Ryan Espey versus Michael Todd and this pay-per-view event, guys, pay-per-view event is going to be on armbets.tv, $10, 6 hours, 30 minutes remaining. Michael Todd versus Ryan Espey left-handed, Matt Mask versus Tim Bresnan right-handed, and there are 2 more matches that I do not know anything about. Thank you, bye-bye. Nobody's going to watch these videos. I am not really into making shorts. Every video in this world will be a short if there are no opinions. Without opinions, the channel would be probably at 3,000 subscribers, and right now it is at 11. So I'm going to continue with the opinions. Keep giving us your take on things. Add layers. Cheers, Paul Barrett. Thank you very much, brother. SG Records is supporting in the chat as well. You have a right to your opinion, Eric. Right, everyone does. And there are some people who try to curb your opinions, especially when you're speaking about them. I do not like that. And the biggest comment, the worst comment I would say from them would be that you have not done what I have done in this sport, so you cannot comment about this. I have actually got these comments from arm wrestlers. They're telling me that I have not done what they have done in the sport, so I cannot speak about them. Obviously, I know that I have not done anything close to what you have done. That doesn't mean that I cannot talk about you. I obviously can. So this is a very, very bad bullying way to try to end an argument, that just because you cannot beat me on the table, you have no right to speak about me. Like, then why are the news channels speaking about governors and presidents? Why don't they become presidents themselves or governors themselves? Why are people commentating on sports? Why is the commentator commentating on a Floyd Mayweather boxing match? Can he beat Floyd? No, he cannot. But he's still commentating. You do not have to beat a particular guy to talk about him. Amen. Just enjoy it. Subscribe, guys. Vince McMahon with a very important comment. 198 in the house. And I'm quite sure that many of you haven't subscribed. I upload arm wrestling news regularly, almost 1 video every day, and you are not going to miss out on anything related to arm wrestling. And you do not even have to spend hours watching live podcasts and everything. My channel will do that for you. I'll break down everything that is interesting and entertaining for you guys. Barefoot Beggin actually, thanks. That's my pleasure. He's replying to SG Records. So I think that's about it. This is one of the biggest live streams that is not related to a super match. I've done super match commentary live streams. And there was one comment about Coach Ray and Adam Silver. Yes, I kind of do agree with that. I'm not saying I can be better, but there are better commentators. Like Coach Ray is really good. He's really technical. But he's not, I would say, loud enough or enthusiastic enough to be commentating on an aggression and combat and arm wrestling sport. Amazing sport like that. Like better commentators would be Don Underwood. He was really, really great with the commentary. Ryan Bowen can also be really good. Adam Silver, I'm not even sure if Adam Silver can pronounce the name of half of the arm wrestlers correctly. Adam Silver is a great guy. I talk with him. He's a friend, but not a good commentator in my opinion. Ryan Bowen and Don Underwood. Neil Pickup is always going to be the first priority, but if Neil is not available, Don Underwood and Ryan are going to be my second and third priorities. You wouldn't have a few hundred people here talking if people didn't want to hear you. Thank you very much for the support, Tony. I appreciate it. Yes, Eric, fantastic point. I'm assuming it is about commentary. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being live here. How long this live stream have been going? 1 hour 54 minutes. I think I can go on for 4-5 minutes more at least, if it is less than 2 hours still. Because 2 hour live stream, what happens with me if I'm watching a live stream, if the live stream is showing over 1 hour, I'm like, yeah, it is a long live stream. If it is showing over 2 hours, then my mind is like, should I watch it or should I not watch it? Because I do not like to leave anything in between. So guys, I will advise you one thing. If you are watching any arm wrestling related podcast and it will benefit everyone. Start watching any video arm wrestling related, especially if it is over 10 minutes. Start watching them at 1.25x or 1.5x YouTube speed. YouTube gives you that option. So when you watch on increased speed, it is not going to, some people say that it is going to hurt the watch time because the video is going to end quickly, but it does not hurt the watch time. If there is a 1 hour 30-minute live stream and somebody only has 1 hour to watch it, if he's watching it in 1.5x speed, he's going to end it in 1 hour, so he's going to watch it completely. Otherwise he would just leave it and don't watch it. So watching at increased speed is really good. Plus YouTube shows ads at the beginning of the video and the end of the video. I'm talking about the videos that are less than 8 minutes long. So beginning and end of the video. If you watch it on increased speed, the likelihood of you watching the entire video completely from beginning to the end increases. So you will also be shown the ad that is at the end of the video. So the content creator is also going to get more revenue from that. If you start watching on increased speeds, you are going to save your time and you are going to watch more videos in the end. I think everyone benefits from it. And I've seen many big creators mention in the beginning of their podcast that please watch in 1.5x speed for better experience. So it is not better, it is better algorithmic experience and it is saving your time. So I would definitely encourage you to do that, ask you to do that. So Travis is also good. Yeah, Travis Bajent, great. I forgot him. Travis and Don will be a cool duo. Definitely. Death Grip. Is that Larry's Death Grip? Aussie Arm Wrestler is pretty good. Aussie Arm Wrestler, yeah, but Aussie Arm Wrestler, you're still in the chat. I'm sorry to say that. But he talks a lot about kind of, I would say, irrelevant things and less about facts. Like he's great with the way he speaks, but the facts that he speaks are very, very less. Only, I would say, 5% of the videos are facts and 95% are just hyping up and pumping content, which is good, for the newer audience. But there needs to be a balance. 10%, 90% is not a good balance. Paul Barrett with a super chat. Thank you very much, brother. Even though I was reading your comments, but you still sent me a super chat. That is really appreciated. Shows how good of a man you are. Great job. Love your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, brother. Mazurenko can do commentary in Russian. Okay. I guess so. Ready bang. Philwood UK. But English is the only option. Arm wrestling newbie. In addition, if you go with increased speed and you also reverse the videos, you will be able to evoke Levan spirit. What does that mean? Yes, it's that, the death grip. Okay, Larry's death grip. How long have I been? 1 hour 57 minutes. So 1 more minute, guys, and I'm going to sign off. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And I'm not going to start any new topic. I'm going to respond to the comments only. Pradeep versus Larry Fields. Harvey, Larry is going to kill me, man. Pradeep versus Adam Silver, left-handed. That is the match that you want to make. That is the match. I'm trying to get those $50. What do you guys think? Can I close the? I'm quite sure, if not in the first attempt, for sure on the first day I can close the COC 2. And I'm also quite sure that I cannot close the COC 2.5. But even I believe that even if I do some cardio, if I go running some laps every day, when my muscles are going to be awake, I'm going to get stronger because I haven't worked out at all in last 6-7 months. So I think I can get to the COC 2.5. This is only one thing that I can challenge Ryan Bowen in strength related I'm talking about. And Jerentil is saying COC 2.5 is really hard. Man, you're making me worried. I have a 200-pound gripper and I'm assuming that it is not 200. It is around, let's say, 160 pounds realistically. And COC is 195. I can close that 165-pound gripper about 10 times. So I am quite sure that I will be able to close that COC at least 1 or 2 times. COC 2. COC 2.5 going to be a difficult task. But I have seen people getting from COC 1.5 to COC 2.5 easily in 2-3 months. Full 1 number increase. So let's see if that is the same with me or not. Sabin SG. I closed COC 2. I will definitely try. And Ryan Bowen is going to cover the expenses of me buying it. So guys, thank you very much. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much and bye-bye. The stream is 1 hour 59 minutes 50 seconds. I don't want it to be 2 hours. Thank you. Bye bye.